Hi all. It's a bit later in the day with this, so my apologies for getting this out a bit later, and apologies for the mess in the background. I have a child. Anyways, I wanted to get this one out. A few of you reached out to me and said that these are helpful, so I'm gonna keep going and hope that I can continue to help and give you any knowledge you want, or anything else that you think might be helpful. So what I really wanted to talk about today was sort of the philosophy behind the journey. So I've heard from folks in regard to anti-racism, diversity and inclusion, and it sounds like they're likening it to a marathon or some sort of thing that has a destination, an end point and a start point. And it's really not the right analogy, because it's going to end up in disappointment and frustration for you. I think you can kind of think about it as a lifelong journey. If you could probably, maybe a better analogy would be parenting. You're never going to be the perfect parent. As your kid gets older, you're going to continue to learn to deal with them and be better and learn what to deal with. Sorry, I think I might hurt my neighbors. So what and how should you think about it? And like, what are the different steps and thinking about moving forward? So you start where you start. Where you're at right now is your beginning point, and that'll be different than your coworkers or your bosses, or even maybe your wife or your husband. But what you do from there is what makes the difference. And just understand you're going to make mistakes. Just like in parenting, we make mistakes a lot. We have to learn our kids day in and day out and learn how they grow. So if you make a mistake, you acknowledge it. So, for example, if you mispronounce somebody's name, they may not acknowledge that to you right away, but if you hear that you do, just learn to correct it and make an apology to that person. That could mean everything. To say, I'm sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. It was my mistake, and I want to make sure I do it correctly going forward. So if I say it wrong, just let me know. That's happened to me before. It if you're English speaking person and you're not used to certain names, it can be difficult. No one's denying that. Just own up to it. If you confuse people with other people, or you confuse a project, own up to it. We just want you to own up to it and say, I'm sorry, and I want to do better next time. What other things? If you say something wrong, once again, apologize and ask how you can do better. And if you need to learn something, a lot of us are open to teaching. And all you have to do is say, hey, I just want to know what the best way to do X, Y, and Z is, and move forward. It's really a process that's going to continue through your life. You're not just going to show up one day and say, yay, I have finished my diversity inclusion journey. I get my bachelor's or master's degree in diversity and inclusion, and now I am an anti-racist ally for the rest of my life. It doesn't work that way. So let me know what you think. Leave some comments or reach out to me below. Thanks.